These are a few of my favorite foods. We're going from Stripes to Exxon. For this special edition of These Are a Few of My Favorite Foods, I'll be showcasing one item from each of these places. I had some friends who were moving from Corpus to come work over here in the valley, and they were just excited because of that Laredo Taco Company. They had heard so much about it. They were super stoked to get over here so they can just have tacos, and that's what they were looking forward to the most. Grandma approved tortillas? I don't think so. My grandma's and my mom's tortillas are way better than these tortillas. And another thing about the tortillas here is that it seems like they've shrunken. Ooh, those enchiladas look good. But I'm gonna be getting a chicken fajita taco with rice. Exxon has tacos too, but I prefer Stripes. If I had to pick between the two, I think the tortilla, and it comes down to the tortilla really. I think that I just enjoy the tortilla better. They also have a lot of meals you can pick throughout the day, but today I'll be getting one of my personal favorite snack or food items from Exxon, and that's the fried bean burrito, because they are fire, as all the kids say nowadays. Chicken fajita taco from the Stripes, and I always like to get the chicken fajita but with rice. I'm not sure how I thought about even doing that one time, but I tried it and I've been hooked ever since. If there's a taco I'm gonna get for lunch, I like the carnitas one too, it's good, but the go-to for me is chicken fajita with rice. And you know what, it just so happens right here when I was getting this particular meal, there was somebody in front of me who got chicken fajita, but they had refried beans and rice. So, and then they had some shredded cheese sprinkled on top. So I can only imagine how damn good that is. I didn't want to divert from my favorite. So and plus I didn't want to risk it. You know, that's what this. And plus, if I got the new one, it wouldn't be one of my favorite foods. I mean, it might become one, but it wouldn't be a current favorite one of my foods, because the chicken fajita with rice is one of my favorite foods. It's my, like I said, my go-to lunch, or I never really get that for dinner, but for lunch, absolutely. It definitely is my favorite lunch taco to get. And if I were to pick up dinner there, that's what I would get: chicken fajita with rice, and then maybe some other taco, maybe carnitas, or I also like the one where they put the chicken fajita. I think it's fajita, sausage, and I think it's a papareada or something like that. It's really good. There's some bell peppers. There's, I believe, tomato. That's either from the rice or from the chicken fajita. I don't remember, but I know there's a little bit of pieces of tomato. There's onion, and I believe that's about it. But the rice is so well seasoned. In my opinion, I definitely would not think that I would like, rice from there, but I do. It's very good rice, even on its own. I'll be picking at the rice. If it falls out of my taco, I'll pick up a handful, or whatever comes out of the taco, and I'll eat the rice like that. But I just look at this burrito. He kind of reminds me of Thumper, the character from Mario. Remember you do this and it does that, you try to do this and it does that, and it wants to squash you. Well, I'm about to squash it. So a fried bean burrito. These things are classic. I used to get them with my cousin Tony. I remember we used to get them all the time. And it's just something that I've never forgotten. And every time I drive by El Tigre and Exxon, I just can't help but think, should I get one? And so that's what I'm getting an item from Stripes and an item from El Tigre from Exxon. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting video. Any Exxon gas station, they have those fried bean burritos. I used to think it was bean and like a little bit of meat, but I believe it's just a bean burrito. but it's just, and I know this sounds, like I said, the item doesn't sound so superb, but it definitely is something that I think about every time I'm driving down somewhere, and I'm tempted to get one and kind of ruin my appetite for dinner sometimes, because usually it's around maybe lunch sometimes, but lunch or dinner. And so I think about what I'm going to eat, and I'm like, all right, I think I can do this. And there's times where I just have a craving, and then stopping there for gas. Every time I have to stop for gas, of course, the thought always crosses my mind, because I used to eat them a lot more when I was younger. But I think about it like, I'll just work out extra hard in the morning, or I'll go walking more, because it's not the healthiest thing. But I can't deny that it's not delicious. I feel like when you have the rice in the chicken fajita taco, it makes the chicken fajita experience even better. So I think they complement each other very well. And if you have, anytime you have rice, whether it's on the side or inside of a taco, I mean, I've never done that besides here, but it's going to definitely, it's going to be fulfilling, and you're not going to be left starving. So that's another plus about this meal. And by the way, all these two items plus my water were under $10. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty magnificent, I'll say. But yes, you bite into and the chicken fajitas also have a great taste as well. I've had just chicken fajitas before. One time I just wanted to try one by itself, and then I got one with chicken. Then I got one with chicken fajita and rice. And they were both good. But I gotta say, my favorite one is definitely chicken and rice. I bite into this burrito. First of all, you gotta be careful, because when you get it, you gotta make sure it's not too hot. But then I'm being serious, because when you bite into it, it's gonna sound funny, but it'll squirt. It squirts into your mouth, or sometimes it'll squirt onto your cheek. It could squirt into your eye, which would be devastating. But it could squirt anywhere, and the beans and the sauce that's in there can definitely burn. It's happened to me before, because I was just too. How do you say? Como dices? Excited. But yeah, So I've learned to be extra cautious about that, and so I take my time, and I take my first bite, and of course I feel and I hear that crispity, crunchity, peanut. But that crispy crunch. And then you get all, you get the beans, the refried beans that just fill your mouth, and then of course you just keep biting, and you get the crunch, you get the softness, and very good tasting beans. That old story, or that song, the chicken and rice, and I was just kind of tempted. I was like, man, I never have chicken and rice like that. I've never had I've had it before, but it's been a while since I've had chicken and rice. Where can I get it? And I saw that chicken fajita, and I saw there was rice, and I was like, hey. And it also could have happened if I might have seen somebody else before me, like the guy I mentioned earlier. I think I saw somebody get chicken, and then they put rice in there, and I was like, that looks good. And then I probably even mentioned, mention it to the person, and I think they might have told me, yeah, it is good, you need to try it. And I did end up trying it, and I loved it. Now, do I remember the person? No. Do I remember the taco? You bet your bottom dollar I do. That's why I'm making this one of my items, and one of my features for this episode. The thing you got to be careful about also is that sometimes those can be left over from the next day. So the best time to get one of these bean burritos is fried bean burritos. Is you should go around lunchtime. I'd say around 11, 12, or 1, even 2 is the best time to go and get one of these. I've picked some up after work, so I've picked some up as late as 6 or even 7:30. And those have actually been very good too. And I think the reason for that is because they make them maybe around lunchtime, maybe a little bit after lunch, depending on you, right? You know, the demand. And sometimes they sell out. That's the other thing. So if you wait too late, they could sell out. 6, 7, 8, 9 is a little bit too early. I think even 10, because you'll more than likely be getting, you know, burritos from the day before, and those are not as pleasant. And if you've never tried it, you definitely have to try it. I know there's things called, what are they called? Are they chimichangas? Chimichangas, I believe is what they're called. Chimichangas. I think that's such a funny name, but imagine that. Imagine naming your kid Chimichanga, or if somebody named their kid Chimichanga because they were such a huge fan. That I've gotten one, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same, really. I mean, it should be better. It's bigger. It looks better, but it's not.